We all carry a glass of water in front of us, and if that glass of water is empty, there is nothing that you can give. You can pour it as much as you want, there is nothing that you can give. However, if your glass of water is full, then you can share it with other people. Hi everybody, this is Danai, and today's video is going to be a little bit different than what I usually post. I'm not going to be talking about piano technique. I'm going to be discussing a topic that I get asked about quite a lot, and also that has been on my mind quite a lot lately because it's very prevalent in my life. It's, as I said, not really about piano technique. It's more general. It's generally about my life situation and many other people's life situations. This is also why I'm sitting underneath the piano or in front of the piano, because I don't need to show anything, and it's more of a casual video where I just want to sit here and chat with you guys. So what I would like to talk about is the fact that I am a working mom, because I get so many questions either from you in the comments or in official interviews that I give. How do you do it? How do you combine your work as a traveling performing concert pianist and having two little kids? This is really the number one question that I get asked, no matter who is talking to me. So first of all, just to give you an overview of what I'm talking about, I have two boys who are now 2 and 4 years old. And when each of them were born, I didn't really take a break, an official break from playing. I really kind of just went on and kept on playing. In both cases, my last concert before birth was really pretty late. With the first one, it was like 5 days before, and with the second one, it was maybe a week before. And also after I had given birth, the first concert was already a couple of weeks after. With my firstborn, I went to France. I had a concert in Toulouse, and we just flew there already when he was 3 weeks old. And with my second, I was actually playing a piano concerto in Munich, and this was also 3 weeks after the birth. So both times I kind of just seamlessly continued. And everyone is like, how do you do this? This is so crazy. And honestly speaking, to me, it was kind of the natural thing to do. Especially in the beginning when they are so small, and of course they need their mom because I was doing everything. I was breastfeeding, and of course they needed to be with me. But they're so small, they sleep so much. I actually didn't find it so challenging. I just traveled with them and they got used to it right away. They were never the kind of kids that could not sleep if they weren't in their own rooms or anything like that. So I just took them with me. We traveled to the concert. I played. I was breastfeeding in the intermission. I was breastfeeding after the rehearsal. It just worked out. Of course, let me just really stress that I have a lot of help. I am not alone. I am not a single mom. My hat goes off to all the single moms out there. This is something that really seems unimaginable to me. I cannot imagine what it must be like to raise kids when you're alone. You have my utmost respect if this is what you're doing. This really is a completely different story. So I have a lot of help with raising these kids, and I had a lot of help from the start. Nevertheless, of course, it takes a lot of pre-planning and all of that. But when they were very young, especially in the beginning, I found it actually quite easy. They would travel easily. They would just sleep on the plane. You could just breastfeed them. It was easy going. Personally, I found that it got harder when they got a little bit older. Now they're at the age, or at least my younger one is at the age where he can run around. He has very clear ideas of what he wants to do, and he cannot quite yet talk about everything. So now I find this is a way more complicated stage. And the reason why I said that this subject is on my mind a lot right now is because I am right now in a pretty stressful phase concerning that. There's a lot going on with the kids. They are also very sick all the time because they're coming back from kindergarten with all types of illnesses, and then I get sick, and then I have to play a concert, but I'm sick. So there's that whole situation. And then there's, of course, just the simple chaos of having two young kids, everything that comes with it, you know, all the toys, all the different things that they want to do, two boys constantly running around. And I have a job that is pretty demanding 24/7 because I really need to practice a lot. I need to be focused. I need to be ready for the concert, ready for the rehearsal as a performing pianist. So I find that this phase right now is harder than the phase in the beginning. However, I think that there is something to be said, at least for me, about having moments of calm when the kids are there. I don't know how you other parents feel about this, but for me, because if the kids were not there, I would probably be practicing, or I would be working on my emails or something like that. When they are there, there is really nothing I can do. There is no way that I can practice when the kids are in the same room because they just won't let me. So it kind of forces me to just completely be in the moment with them. And to me personally, it kind of slows everything down. It slows my mind down that is constantly working and thinking about things. And it just forces me to be in the moment with them and focus on the game that we're playing, or focus on the activity that we're doing, or just on the conversation that we're having. And this is something that to me is extremely valuable, because yes, I might be spending 3-4 hours a day doing activities that I would otherwise definitely not do, but I'm so centered after that that I almost feel like I have more energy to then come downstairs, come right here and start practicing, because I was in the moment for so long. I enjoyed this quality time with my kids, and now I can work on my music and on my piano playing. Now, again, as I said, right now it's a pretty stressful phase. And although I'm someone who really likes to stress that everything is possible and that things are not as hard as they seem, because I really truly believe that. I believe that if you tell yourself that something is possible and that you can do it, then you can do it. And this is how I kind of went into this whole having kids and also being a pianist kind of thing. I just told myself, of course I'm going to do it. Of course I'm going to keep playing. And I just did. There never was even another option in my mind. So I really believe that if you tell yourself you can do it, then you can do it. But still, it is difficult. It definitely is difficult. And I want to take a moment right here and acknowledge that I have moments sometimes where I think, whoa, okay, I have a concert coming up in 3 days. If I were alone right now, I would be practicing my butt off. And instead, I am now puzzling for 3 hours, and I have to wait until they are in bed and then practice slightly tired in the evening or during the night. So this, of course, is hard, and there is no denying that, and you definitely need that extra discipline and that extra energy to get through that. I'm very grateful that I'm still quite young, and I believe that that really makes it easier for me, because if I didn't have kids, probably I would be partying somewhere and then I would have the same amount of sleep. So instead, I'm just with my kids, and then I can still function on the next day. So I'm very grateful that I had kids pretty early and that I have the energy that it takes. This is, of course, not to say that you don't have energy for kids if you are older. Definitely not. I'm just saying that I feel like this makes things slightly easier for me personally. But the other thing that I want to say, and that has been my biggest life lesson yet, is to just cut yourself some slack. Because I have realized that when you have kids, there are some things that you just cannot influence and some things that are just simply not possible. When I wake up, I have this perfect day in my mind of how I want it to go, of how my schedule is going to be, of what I want to accomplish and what I want to have done by the end of the day. And of course, it very rarely works out perfectly when the kids are involved. It's always some things less that I manage to do, and I have learned to just accept that there is no need to be perfect every single day. It is totally fine to manage to do a couple of things and then maybe prioritize what is very important and then do that, and then see if you can do a couple of the other things as well. But just be proud of yourself no matter how much you accomplish. If you are a working mom or a working dad, whatever you manage to do, it's already amazing. You're taking care of your kids, which in itself is a full-time job, and you are also taking care of your other job. So that already is amazing. And I've really learned to just be happy with less and to accept if I cannot succeed in everything every single day, that is not the end of the world. And one other thing that I have learned is that it is important for me to take care of myself as well, because I am a very self-sacrificing type of person when it comes to my kids. I had a very self-sacrificing mother who did everything for her kids, and this is why I probably go after her and want to do the same, because of course this happens out of love and you just want the best for your kids, obviously. But I have learned that it is so important to take care of yourself. And for me, what it looks like to take care of myself is, for example, to practice for 1 hour or for 2 hours. This makes me so happy. It refills my energy tanks and my soul and my heart with so much joy and energy that I am ready for the rest of the day. So, for example, I make sure that I get enough practice in. I try to make sure that I get my stretches in at the beginning of the day, because as you maybe know from previous videos, I think the video that I posted about this is already 2 years old, but I do yoga every morning. So I really try to not let the morning pass without doing my stretchers and doing my short but very important to me yoga routine. So there are all these little things that I try to make sure that I do in order for me to be centered and balanced and calm and happy, and then be a good mother to my kids and just be a happy person. Because I like to use this analogy of we all carry a glass of water in front of us, and if that glass of water is empty, there is nothing that you can give. You can pour it as much as you want, there is nothing that you can give. However, if your glass of water is full, then you can share it with other people. So I try to make sure that my glass of water is full. Of course, I don't succeed every day, and there are definitely days where I walk around with an empty glass, but I try to make sure that it is full on most of the days. These are my very condensed thoughts when it comes to having kids and working at the same time, whether you're a mom or a dad. I just thought that it would be interesting to just put it out there, because I get this question so often, to just share my thoughts on how I do it, but also what my struggles are and how I try to get better and avoid them. I really want to stress once again, because I don't want to create this unattainable image for anybody. I have a lot of help. We are 2 parents. My sister also lives in the house. I am not alone. So this is not something that probably I would be able to do as a single mother. And once again, my biggest respect goes out to all the single parents raising kids out there that also have to support the family by working. I think that you are doing incredible superhero jobs. And in general, of course, my love and respect goes out to all the parents out there. I know how hard it is, but also how rewarding it is. And you are all doing an amazing job. Yes, I hope that it was okay for you that I just talked about this in today's video, and next week I promise we will be back to piano technique videos. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye!